All right, welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're doing a bit of spring cleaning on your personal finance. If you've ever felt completely bogged down by financial jargon, or just totally overwhelmed by the math of it all, you're in the right place. We're going to look at a system that is so brilliantly straightforward, it can literally change how you view your money from here on out.
So tell me, does budgeting just feel overwhelming to you? If you're nodding your head right now, trust me, you are absolutely not alone. Let's be real for a second. Traditional budgeting usually feels incredibly restrictive, it's stressful, and frankly, it's just way too complicated. I mean, trying to account for every single penny, every single day, that can drive absolutely anyone crazy. Honestly, it often feels like you're setting yourself up to fail before you even start.
Okay, let's dive into this. On one side, we've got the old school way, right? You know the drill: 12 complex categories, endless spreadsheets, religiously tracking every single coffee receipt. But on the flip side, just 3 simple numbers. Today, we are completely debunking the myth that managing your money requires an accounting degree or giving up your entire weekend. Instead, we're bringing in this beautifully streamlined framework. It's called the 50-30-20 rule.
Now, this framework takes your after-tax income, the actual take-home cash that actually hits your bank account, and splits it into just 3 highly manageable buckets. No micromanaging, no stress. Just 3 distinct slices of the pie: 50%, 30%, and 20%.
It's really that clean.
Now, I want to slow down here and be super precise because we're starting with the big one: 50. 50%. What's really interesting here is just the sheer size of this first allocation, but it makes sense because this is the absolute foundation of the whole system. This is the first and the largest target number of your take-home pay, representing a full half of your income.
So what exactly lives in this massive 50% bucket? Well, your needs. These are your absolute essentials for survival and just keeping your life running day to day. We're talking about your rent or your mortgage EMI, your basic groceries, the utilities keeping the lights and water on, transportation to actually get to work, mandatory insurance, and those minimum debt payments. But hey, pay really close attention to this next point. If these absolute essentials are eating up significantly more than 50% of your income, it is a clear mathematical sign. It means your lifestyle needs adjusting to your income, not the other way around. It's a tough reality check for sure, but recognizing it is absolutely crucial for your long-term financial health.
All right, moving right along, that brings us to our second number, 30. 30%. This right here is the magic allocation that actually makes this entire system sustainable for the long haul. This category is exactly what gives the budget its essential flexibility. It's the secret sauce that keeps you from completely abandoning the whole plan after just 2 weeks.
This 30%, this is dedicated entirely to your wants. Eating out, entertainment, all those streaming subscriptions you've got, shopping, and travel. Basically the whole shebang of everything enjoyable but strictly non-essential. I always love explaining this part because people usually think budgeting means zero fun allowed. But notice that this category is intentionally built into the rule. Why? Because it's not about deprivation, it's about balance. Cutting all non-essentials down to zero? Yeah, that rarely lasts. We all know that from our failed New Year's resolutions, right? But giving yourself a defined mathematical boundary, that actually works. It gives you 30% of your income to just enjoy, completely guilt-free.
And that brings us to our final target number, 20. 20%. Now, it might be the smallest allocation we're talking about today, but its role in your future is absolutely critical. This 20% isn't about surviving today, and it's not about having fun this weekend. This number is entirely 100% focused on your tomorrow.
So the crucial point is this. This 20% is your wealth-building category, savings and debt repayment. This slice covers your future investments, building up that completely vital emergency fund, and making extra debt payments well beyond just those minimums we talked about earlier. So while the 50% keeps you alive and the 30% keeps you sane, this specific 20% determines exactly how fast you're actually going to build wealth over time. This is literally where your financial momentum lives.
Okay, so we know the theory, right? But how do we actually put this into practice? Let's build some real momentum here. Step 1, pull up your monthly take-home income. Step 2, just multiply that number by 0.5, 0.3, and 0.2 to lock in your target budgets. Step 3, track your actual spending for just one single month against these 3 buckets. Seriously, I want to inspire you to take action on this today. It literally only takes a few minutes to do the math. And knowing those exact dollar amounts,
It can completely change your financial trajectory.
But hey, I do have to throw up a quick warning sign here. When you actually do step 3 and track your spending for that first month, you are highly likely to stumble right into what the source material calls the wants trap. Most people are totally shocked to find out their wants category is actually way higher than 30%. So why does this happen? Well, because this kind of spending is usually perfectly disguised. It's all those silent, small purchases, the daily coffee, the quick online order, the in-app digital purchases. They really don't feel like major splurges in the moment, but they add up incredibly fast and just blow right past that 30% boundary before you even realize it.
Let's move to and see how this builds, because the beauty of this framework is that it isn't rigid. It's highly adaptable to your specific goals. While the standard rule is 50-30-20, let's say you're someone who really wants to aggressively pay off debt, or maybe you're hyper-focused on building wealth quickly. Well, you can just adopt the 50-20-30 rule. You simply flip those last two numbers. You cap your wants at 20% and you pump a massive 30% into savings and extra debt payoff. It brilliantly illustrates just how flexible this whole framework is for whatever unique situation you find yourself in.
Now, I know exactly what some of you are thinking, but I live in a huge city, and my rent alone is literally crushing me. If you are in a high cost of living area, your needs percentage might realistically be way higher than 50% right now. Listen to me, that is absolutely okay. Bending the rule is totally fine, but it is absolutely crucial to make sure it is a temporary state, not a permanent one. It just means you acknowledge the math is slightly off right now, and you're actively working to change your situation. Whether that means finding a roommate, working to increase your income, or, eventually relocating. Just don't accept a 70% needs category as your forever normal without having a plan to fix it.
Honestly, this perfectly sums up everything we've unpacked today. You don't need 12 categories and a complex spreadsheet. You need 3 numbers and the discipline to check in on them monthly. The true power of this framework, it isn't really about the math at all. The power lies entirely in its simplicity and the lifelong discipline it helps you build. It works wonderfully because, finally, it's a system simple enough that you can actually stick to it month after month.
Which leaves us right here with one final thought. Are you ready to ditch those massive stress-inducing spreadsheets and let 3 simple numbers actually change your financial future? Seriously, stop overcomplicating your money. As soon as this explainer finishes, go grab a piece of paper, write down your income, and calculate your 50, 30, and 20. Take immediate, structured control over your wealth today. You've got the tools, you have the structure, now it is time to build. Thank you so much for joining me to break all of this down, and I absolutely can't wait to guide you through our next topic.